How's it going, guys? Soyfin here, and welcome back to Heart of the Woods, the demo version. So now, remember what happened last time if you haven't seen it. It's been a while since I played it. We got to where we met the girl, homegirl Morgana, or whatever her name was, and we are actually going to do more in-depth research about what's crazy conspiracies or whatever the hell's going on in that village. So far. So we don't know exactly what happens today, because remember I said that the last demo it was going to be probably a little bit shorter probably this time around, because the last demo when I uploaded last it was pretty long. So I don't know how long this is, and bear with your boy if it's shorter than usual. I just had to finish this game. This is one of those demos where I had to finish it because it really stood out to me. Like, really stood out to me. So without further ado, let's jump into the chat! Here we are, y'all. Shit. Don't know exactly how far this is. Remember, this is a demo, so bear with your boy a little bit. We head to the appointed meeting spot right at the turn of the hour. Even during the day, forest felt hostile and foreign, but now it's night. It's downright scary. Oh, each rattle of a branch is a demon's footsteps. Every gust of wind is a monster's breath. I stand close to Tara, treading on the backs of her feet several times. I think this is supposed to be the place. It's dark as fuck. I look around the area. It's indistinguishable from the rest of the woods. My only comfort is a tiny pinprick of light that represents our cabin back at the forest edge. A feeling of dread creeps its way up my spine. What if this is a trap or a setup? Maybe Morgan's just lured us out here in the middle of nowhere and is waiting out of sight with a knife in hand or something. That girl, come on. Consider we traveled thousands of kilometers to get here. If this was a trick, we fell for it hard. I mean, she's pretty small. I mean, I don't think she'd do something hurtful to them, I hope. Maybe we're early? I know that we're not. Ooh, Tara sweeps the flashlight around, illuminating a few identical trees. That's cool. Before the lights beam Peters off into oblivion. Maybe we should just go back. The light passes over Morgan, suddenly in the meter. Ooh, bitch! Ah! Tara jolts backwards, crashing into me. The flashlight plummets to the ground, bouncing once before stopping. I keep my balance barely and catch Tara's arm to stop her from falling. Are you okay? Short term, yeah, but I think I just lost 10 years. What about you, Mads? I'm fine. What on earth were you doing? Me? I was waiting for you. Where? Didn't you hear us? Just over there. Sorry, I had headphones in and missed you. You were just standing in the dark, in a forest, wearing headphones? Yes. Why? At a loss for words, I could only shrug. Does hanging out alone in the dark in the middle of nowhere not register as weird for Morgan? 'Cause she's a ghost, I'm telling y'all. You just spooked us a little is all. No worries. She stoops down and retrieves the flashlight from the snow, drying it on her sleeve. She brushes off the snow the same way she brushes off Morgan's actions. Anyway, it's all good. Okay, what now? Morgan turns and faces the trees, shining her flashlight across them. I thought we could walk around a little. It might help you to get a better feel for the area. Behind Morgan's back, Tara and I exchange a look of concern. Tara gives me a slightest of shrugs. I'm still reluctant, but I nod. If Morgan's planning to kill us, it's not like it'll make a difference whether she does it here or in the forest. And I'm pretty sure she's not a murderer anyway. Sure. Lead on. Morgan sets off without another word as we follow just a couple paces back. Are we going somewhere in particular? Not really. I doubt you want to go too far this late at night, right? Right. That's fine. We'll stick to the edge then. Ooh. As we walk, Morgan keeps her flashlight pointed straight ahead in the direction that we're going. Tara, on the other hand, swings hers around, looking at trees and out into the abyss. She and I only brought one flashlight with us. The spare is sitting in one of our suitcases back at the cabin. I regret leaving it behind, just on the off chance that we somehow get separated. So did you learn anything useful today? Not really. We went around town some, but most people didn't really want to talk. Yeah. How'd you know? That's how it is around here. People are mistrustful. I was kind of surprised by that. I figured without of the way it is here, that we might have been, I don't know, treated like celebrities? Hey now, don't project, but something like that. It's more like they isolate themselves by choice. We have internet and TV. It's just that lots of people choose not to use them. I'm guessing they probably had some not so nice things to say about me too, right? Neither Tara nor I respond. Our silence lasts a beat too long. It's okay. I'm used to it. You don't have to pretend or anything. Light shines in our faces as Morgan turns around half smiling. Hey, you two don't need another assistant back where you live or anything, right? My mouth flaps like a fish while I try to think of a diplomatic response. But then Morgan laughs and faces forward again. Just kidding. Oh, the area changed. We trek on in awkward silence. I'm not even sure what we're supposed to be doing or looking for. We're just wandering in the dark, trusting that Morgan knows how to get back to the cabin. It's cold and my feet are sore, and I'm once again regretting coming to Eisenfeld. I gently tug Tara's sleeve right by her elbow when she looks at me. I slightly gestures back towards where we came from and shrug, hoping she'll get the message. Now, she mouths back. I nod. She gives a worried look over Morgan, who's now slightly farther away. Tara holds up 5 fingers. 5 more minutes. Sighing, I nod again. We hurry to catch back up with Morgan. Something wrong? Oh no, Maddie has something in her shoe. Oh. It's hard to tell if she buys it. I wouldn't. Mentally, I'm counting backwards from 5 minutes, already imagining the comfort of my bed and blanket back at the cabin. How I'm going to survive another whole month of this is an issue for future me to worry about. I got lost in this part of the forest once. 3 minutes and 32 seconds. 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Don't worry, though. I know my way around now. Yeah, they mentioned something about that. I step on Tara's foot again, this time totally on purpose. I thought they might. Her tone is still completely nonchalant. At least Morgan seems impossible to offend. It's too bad. It looks like it's going to snow tonight. We probably shouldn't stay out too late. Thank God. Yeah, that's too bad. I'm sorry this was disappointing. I'd hoped that there would be more to see. What exactly were you expecting? It's the middle of the night. Come on, Matt. It's about the atmosphere. It's way spookier out here than when it's dark. I know. That's half the problem. We can turn back now if you like. Before I could agree, Tara shakes her head. Nah, let's give it a couple more minutes. You came all the way out here for us, after all. I glare at Tara, but I think she misses it. I've lost track of my countdown, too. Whatever. The small, apologetic smile that I barely noticed does little to assuage my discomfort. We tramp aimlessly through the snow for a while longer. I stare at my feet more than at the path ahead and simply follow the footprints left behind by the other two. So I nearly slammed into Tara, who's come to complete halt yet again. What now? I saw something. You did? Tara, stop messing around. No, I mean it. I saw something. I shut up. I can barely tell by the tone that she's serious. She saw something, or at least she thinks she did. The 3 of us turn and face the way she is. It's even deeper into the forest, barely lit by the moon. There was a light. Someone else walking around? There shouldn't be anyone out this time of night. It's dangerous to be in these woods once it gets late. I opt to not point out the obvious hypocrisy. It was probably moonlight or something. It wasn't the moon, Maddie. There's something out there. Both of them point their flashlights in the direction Tara's looking. Aside from more trees, there's nothing to be seen. Tara breaks into a run, leaving Morgan and I behind in surprise. We exchange a look before Morgan runs off after her. I have no choice but to go too. The regret is almost instant. Cold knives pierce my lungs with every breath. I'm not in the best shape to begin with, and the snow and boots don't make things any easier. The only consolation is that we're running in a straight line, so it won't be hard to follow our path back. Every so often we pause to catch our breath. The pace is catching up to Tara too, who has to fight to keep her smile on. Morgan seems unfazed by it all. I'm about 3 seconds away from demanding that we give up when I see it. Ooh. Way off in the distance, too far to identify the source. It's a light. It sparkles and glimmers like a star that fell to earth. I fall silent, the words stolen from my mouth. Then Tara points, stating what we already knew. There it is! Buoyed by the second wind, Tara runs off again. This time Morgan and I are close behind. We follow the light, which sometimes blinks out but soon reappears. I'm too focused on not slipping and falling to give much thought as to the source. There's no telling how long or how far we've been going. Somehow the light never seems to get any closer or farther away. It's like it's running from us. Hey, wait up! Tara yells out in the darkness. If whatever it is doesn't understand her, it ignores her. Running is quickly becoming difficult. My lungs burn from the cold and my breathing turns ragged after barely a minute. Tara pulls further and further ahead from Morgan, and me, her one-track mind fixated on that light. After a bit longer, I hit my limit, and my pace slows back to a walk, then a stop. I fold over hands on my knees as I gasp for breath. Morgan crunches to a stop just ahead, too, turning back towards me. Are you alright? I try to respond, but I'm breathing too heavily to be able to talk. I just wave my hand, gesturing for Morgan to go on ahead without me, but she doesn't. Are you sure? I force myself to stand and nod. I'm fine. In the murk, Tara became a disembodied light herself, only the flashlight glow visible. I watch it bounce to a halt, and then slowly make its way back towards us. You guys give up too easily. How are you not dead? I haven't seen you run in years. That's because you never hit the gym with me. I don't know if she's joking or not, and I'm too worn out to care. So what was that thing? Do you think it was your forest spirit? Morgan's eyes widen. You believe me? Tara shrugs. I'm considering it, at least. I mean, what else could it have been? Fairies. Morgan says it very nonchalantly. I side-eye Tara, who is very interested in her boots. The forest spirit doesn't really make a light like that, at least not that I'm aware of. Right! That makes sense, doesn't it, Mads? It was probably someone from the village, but as I say it, I know how unlikely that is. The way the light seemed to always maintain a precise distance was unnatural. I could feel the seeds of doubt being sown in my heart. But it was definitely strange. Tara looks at me with more pride than a rainbow flag. Hey, holy shit! That's practically canon in Maddie terms! I roll my eyes, but it's partially just for show. I'm curious, at the very least. I wouldn't call myself a believer as much as Tara wishes, but that's two strange things so far, which is two more than I expected when I boarded the train out here. It was strange. That's as much as I can get. A yawn overtakes me in the middle of speaking. It doesn't help the pain in my lungs. Oh, guess it's past your bedtime, huh? I kick some snow at her and it bounces uselessly off of her pants. With the way we've been bantering with each other, it really does feel a bit more like old times. Make that 3 strange things on this trip so far. We should be heading back anyway. We can't go much further in before I'd be lost too. You still know where we are? Yes, of course. We'd be in trouble if not. She has a point. I got so caught up chasing the light that I lost track of what direction we'd come from. I'll show you around more tomorrow. There's more you might like to see. Yeah? What is it? A surprise. We'll go tomorrow before it gets dark. It's a bit of a walk. Does it have to do with whatever that light was? I have no idea. That's possible. Story of my life. Okay, we'll call it quits for tonight and pick back up tomorrow. Yeah, I guess. That's fine by me. Great! She hops forward, then pauses. Guess you ought to lead the way. Morgan smiles as she does just that. Ooh, okay. We get back to the cabin safe? I hope so. It takes us only 15 minutes or so to reach the cabin. We must have had a lot of time to trip with all the wandering we did. Morgan bids us farewell at the door, which I barely return before stumbling inside. Oh, I'm halfway out of my boots by the time Tara's inside. Guess you're not staying up late then. I'm out like a light the second I hit the bed. Tara grins just briefly. Right. My hand is on the doorknob when Tara clears her throat. Hey, thanks for, chasing after that thing. I appreciate you playing along. My hand lingers on the door, poised to turn. Yeah, of course. Let's see what we find tomorrow. Right, yeah, right! Good night. Night. I quickly step in and then shut my bedroom door before Tara can say anything else. As I switch off the lights and crawl into bed, I remember the end of the train right here. I felt the same just now, standing there not knowing what to say. It would be so easy. I banish those thoughts from my mind and wrench my eyes shut. There'll be time to worry about it tomorrow. I have time to think. We have a month. As I slowly drift to sleep, the exhaustion that I felt winning over the stress, the last thoughts I have are of dancing lights in the snow. Ooh, bitch. Hey. What? Hey again, everyone. Tara's busy, so it's just me this time. That probably just as well, because at this point in the game, I'm keeping a pretty big secret from her. We've launched into the main plot by now, so I'll try to keep the summary brief. Long story short, I found a ghost, and Tara doesn't know about it. Since she's busy investigating with Morgan, I'm taking some time to get to know the ghost girl on my own. I'll tell her eventually, I promise. It's just nice to have something that you can call yours sometimes, you know? Well, since she's not doing this intro, I guess I have 2 things of my own now. I really am living the high life. With almost every step I take, I cast a glance behind me. I keep expecting to hear the crunch of snow or spot a flash of red hair as Tara follows me, but there's nothing. Ooh, shit. Y'all, we about to get the nit and gritty of the joint. And we're still pretty early on the gameplay, so let's keep it moving. Let's just keep it pushing. So far to summarize it, we have something that we know something that Tara doesn't know. We're keeping a secret from her. Don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, keeping secrets from her. After saying that this is the last time we do shit together, you would expect it to be more, I don't know, friendship-based and not so much as selfishness. But I guess in the end, she really did need to have something on her own. She was always the background character, even of the streaming channel that they were doing together. So, I mean, it's best to see where it goes from here. And this is a long freaking demo. Devs, I see you. This game, the music, the transitions, the screen, the colors, everything is freaking amazing. It's just great. I'm having a time of my life. And I love these games. I love these kind of games. So, let's keep going. Shit, let's keep it going. I'm alone. I hurried through the woods practically on autopilot. Less than a week ago, I've never set foot in the forest on my own. But now I already have the path to clearing memorized. It gives me extra time to worry. So there's been a time lapse, a little bit maybe. What am I even doing? Everything about the situation is extremely not me. Heading off on my own to the dark forest without telling anyone to go meet up with a ghost? Even thinking the word ghost still makes my heart lurch. I've seen her with my own eyes, and yet I still have trouble believing it. And I'm just trusting that she's not going to lead me to her lair and suck out my soul or something like that. She could suck something out. I'm just saying. I feel like Gretel, and I'm not even cautious enough to leave a breadcrumb trail. But still, I keep walking. Ooh. There's something exciting in being on my own, in doing something without Tara. I can remember the last time I had a secret from her, at least not a big one. Not telling her about the ghost girl feels a little bit like rebellion. I feel like I deserve something exciting that's all on my own. She and Morgan can go do whatever. I doubt Tara will even notice that I'm not around. And even if she does, it's something that she needs to get used to. I've tried to show her now to cut a video or frame a shot lots of times. It's her own fault if she doesn't still get it. I just like it's her own fault that she's missing out now. This seems like she's being a little bit on the selfish/salty side. I'm just saying, baby girl has some issues right now. She's kind of a little bit upset, honestly, probably is. And now she's taking her frustrations out and making this whole new move just for her. But I don't know if it's going to bite her in the rear end or not. We'll see. As I approach the clearing, I slow down a little. My usual trepidation overtakes me once again as I contemplate just how reckless this is. Damn right it is. There's absolutely no guarantee that this girl isn't dangerous, that I'll walk out of these woods alive. Normally I chastise Tara for following her gut instinct, which dictates probably 70% of her decisions. Yet that's all that I have to go off right now. The feeling that I'm safe with the ghost girl, that she won't harm me. I cross the threshold of trees into the clearing, and just like the other times, it's serenely quiet. Even my past footsteps are gone, erased by the wind or snowfall. I'm here. Somehow I feel like she already knows. Ooh. The forest swallows my words, returning to the frozen, pristine silence. Oh my god, bitch, that girl's pretty as fuck too. Silently, she steps out from behind a tree. A small smile sits on her face, though her eyes are slightly downcast. She waves, meeting my eyes for just a moment before glancing away. Hi there. My words hang in the still air. Were you waiting for me? We lock eyes again, and she nods, quickly, earnestly. I hope it wasn't for too long. She shakes her head and then she laughs. I'm not sure what the joke is, though. What? What's so funny? Once she catches her breath, she bites her lip as she ponders. After a moment, she shrugs, looking apologetic. I guess explaining a joke through gestures would be difficult. So she can't speak? She slides up next to me and I fight the urge to step back. Though I've decided to trust her, my instincts still belay my nerves. But what she seems to be most interested in is the bag slung over my shoulder. She simulates opening the bag so that she could see into it. Nosy, huh? Immediately she backsteps, waving her hands in frantic, apologetic motion. Sorry, I was just kidding. You can look. She regards me like a timid deer as I hold the bag open for her to see. Inside are a couple of books that I picked up at the village this morning. I hold up the first one, small, square, and baby blue. I got a really strange look from the person who runs the bookstore because of this one. It's a book of baby names. Her eyes go wide as she grasps her belly, then points at me. It takes me a second to understand what she means, and for some reason, I feel my face flush. No, I'm not pregnant, but I thought maybe you could use it to show me your name. If it's a name, that would be... Before I could finish her sentence, she zoomed back over me, a small sense of personal space once again discarded. She clasps her hands, a fiery look in her eyes, and hops up and down. Frankly, it's adorable. It really fucking is, y'all. I'm just saying. Guess you're a fan. Okay, cool. She eyes the book hungrily. She must be really excited to share her name with me. It's a little exciting for me, too. It's nice to see someone so excited about being with me. I fight to keep an overzealous grin off of my face. Okay, let's see. I look around. Aside from the trees and snow, there isn't much to see. I wonder if there's something about this place in particular that the girl likes. Is there somewhere nearby where we can sit down? It feels a little weird to just keep standing. Finger on her chin, she ponders. Then she turns and points towards the woods, even further in. I can tell from the look in her eyes that she's uncertain. I swallow a lump in my throat. I've come this far, after all. Sure, that's fine. Lead the way. I feel like she's gonna step into some shit, y'all. She does so, but never gets too far from my side. Every few steps, she glances over at me as if I'm making sure I'm still here. This feels a little backwards to me, but in a nice way. I don't really feel compelled to break the silence either. Of course, part of that is because any conversation will be one-sided. But also, she looks content, like she's just happy to be here. I am too. The silence doesn't feel vast as overwhelming like it does with Tara. It feels warm. Oh boy. Before too long, I realize what our destination is. This is nearly the same path that Morgan took us down just a couple dusks ago. I recognize some of the more grotesquely warped trees. So there was a time lapse between that last scene and this scene. Okay, that makes a lot of fucking sense. We're going to that church. Eyes wide, she nods, probably surprised that I know of it. One of the villagers showed it to us a few days ago, me and my friend. It feels weird to just call Tara my friend. Usually if I'm talking to someone about Tara, they've met her. The girl just nods yet again. As we reach the edge of the trees and the church itself comes into sight, I look around for traces of the monster that we saw days before. There are none to be seen, though no snapped or toppled trees. No footsteps as deep as I am tall. Much like the girl beside me, there's no trace of his existence. I look over to the door of the church where she's patiently waiting for me. Once again, I fight back all my fears and hesitations and head for the door, too. It's too late to turn back now. Oh, okay, dusty-ass church. The door is still slightly ajar from our visit days ago. A thin trail of snow powders the entryway, but otherwise the church is dry, so we've been here before. Not sure if we were in the last gameplay or not. I think that was a little off-screen stuff. It's still unnaturally warm. I wonder if that has to do with the girl, too. From the way she walks, I can tell she's familiar with the place. She heads to the front, stopping just shy of the altar where she turns around to face me. Being back here is a little unnerving, and I slowly approach her. Though she hasn't given me any reason to be suspicious, the image of those monstrous eyes is ingrained in my memory, so they saw a monster. Oh shit. But this time, there's no howling wind or earth-shaking footsteps, just one girl waiting patiently. Oh, I give her a smile to sit down in one of the pews near the forest. It's hewn from stone, smooth and rigid. She takes a seat right next to me. Normally being this close to strangers makes me feel uncomfortable, but with her, I don't really mind. Part of it is because, of course, the fact that I can feel her at all. I can't feel her at all. But the other part is that it kind of feels pleasant to sit together like this. I hastily pushed that thought on my head. She's a ghost. She's literally transparent and unsubstantial. I rummaged through the bag and grabbed the book of baby names. Okay, so first, she bounces up and down with anticipation as I tear off the plastic cling wrap and stuff it in the tote bag. Is the first letter early in the alphabet? She nods and holds up one finger. I, L, 2 shakes of her head. She touches her index fingers together and then uses her middle finger to cross between them. Oh, an A. Enthusiastically nodding. I flip to the first couple pages in the book. Right in the middle of the A's, the first name I spot is Amber. Impatiently, she leans over me and motions to go further back towards the start. I turn the page slowly, giving her time to scan. On the very first page, she holds out a hand to stop and points. She's practically hanging over my shoulder to show me. Abigail. Your name is Abigail. She gives me the biggest, most radiant grin I've ever seen as she nods. Her joy is infectious, and I can't help but smile too. Abigail. I repeat it as she looks even more joyful. A beam of light breaks through the glass window. illuminating dust motes that make it look as if she's sparkling. We lock eyes and I feel my breath catch in my throat. The look in her eyes, pure, unadulterated happiness, is something I've never seen before. They shine with tears, the good kind, the kind that bring out the color of her eyes, the radiant kind. I didn't know I could make someone happy like this. I quickly looked back to the now irrelevant book in my lap. Anyway, Abigail, I had a couple questions. Is that okay? Abigail nods. So maybe this is rude to ask, but are you a ghost? Or are you something else? Abigail closes her eyes and with a sad smile nods. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what the appropriate response to something like that is. Then are you from Eisenfeld? Nod. Do you know a girl from there called Morgan? She shakes her head. That makes sense. I'm sure Morgan would have mentioned her before, if so. So you been a ghost for a long time then? I cringed a little as I ask. It seems gauche, although I'm not entirely sure what proper etiquette is for this kind of conversation. She ain't lying. In answer to my question, she nods again. Do you know how long? A shrug. She holds up one finger, then two fists. 100? Another shrug and nod. 100 years. I murmured to myself in slight disbelief. It could be more. I doubt she's keeping track of every day. The world is out there, the world I come from. It may as well be another planet for her. I'm sorry. It's incomprehensible to me. I can't fathom that much time passing, unable to talk to anyone. How lonely that must be. She's closed her eyes yet again, although I've been interpreting her silence as serene. I wonder if that's how she feels. These yes or no questions are practically the extent of what I can ask her. There's still such a gulf between who she is and what I know of her. Centuries worth of solitude. In all that time, have you ever spent time like this with someone else? Without opening her eyes looking at me, she shakes her head again. Am I the only one? Nod. I fall silent too, my head still reeling. There are so many things that I want to ask and want to know. How did she die? Why did her spirit stick around? Does she know about the thing we saw in the snow? Why am I the first person she's shown herself to? But there's no way she could answer, and even if she could, I wonder if she'd want to. Is it impolite to remind a ghost that they're dead? It's morbidly funny to me that these questions I have to ask myself. Tara would love this. Tara would. I pushed that thought out of my head too. Tara's not here right now. It's just me and Abigail. Would you like me to read that other book? Her grin returns, the moment of melancholy dispelled. Seems I made the right call in changing the subject. I show her the book before I crack it open, enjoying that new book smell. This is a book I read a lot when I was younger. It's about a girl who wants to be a hero, so she goes on a quest with her best friend to prove herself. It's a little childish, I guess, but maybe you'd like it? Abigail claps her hands and nods. I have a feeling I could read the dictionary to her and she'd be satisfied, but I don't mention that. Okay. I smooth the crease and open to the first page. Once upon a time is a story that I could probably recite by heart. My mom used to read to me when I was a little girl. It was one of the books that I used to learn to read. I was both surprised and excited to see that there were a copy in Eisenfeld's bookstore. I settled into an easy cadence of reading. Though I'm not used to reading out loud, it starts to feel pretty natural only after a couple of pages. Like my mom used to do, I give all the characters different voices. I don't have quite the range that my mom does, but Abigail seems to enjoy it all the same. She smiles and laughs in all the right places. It makes my heart warm to see how much she's enjoying it. Her eyes are closed yet again, but she looks quite content. As we finish chapter 2, Abigail scoots a little bit closer and rests her head near my shoulder. I pause mid-sentence surprised, but resume just a second later. Though I can't feel her there, the sentiment is clear. I keep reading. Sometimes when I glance down, I can see that her eyes are open, reading along. Her lips, mouth, the same words I am. Once time she catches me looking and blushes, but I just smile and keep going. After we finish chapter 4, I finally pause. My mouth is dry and my jaw is starting to hurt a little bit. I must have been reading aloud for close to an hour. Even though I stop, Abigail doesn't sit up or open her eyes. Her hand rests on my arm, and I set the book aside. Do ghosts need to sleep? That's another question I can ask, but maybe a different time. Right now, I'm happy to let her pretend. Quietly, I hum a song. It's something that from the radio. A title I can't remember, but that's always stuck in my head. I'm extremely off-key, I'm sure, but I don't care. It just feels right. When I stop, she finally opens her eyes and sits back up. As we gaze at each other, she mouths two words that I don't have good at reading lips to decipher. Thank you. No problem. I hope you like the story. First she claps and then she places one hand over her heart. I laugh, flattered, but also a little embarrassed. I think that's all I can do today, but we should read some more sometime. If you want to, I mean. I already know the answer, but she gives me an empathetic nod all the same. Okay, it's a promise. She touches her heart again, and I smile. I should probably head back to the cabin soon. People will start getting suspicious if I'm gone for too long. Abigail cocks her head like an owl, curious. I haven't told my friends about you yet. It's sort of our secret, I guess. And I want to keep it that way for a little while longer. She smiles in agreement. Okay. Shit. Well, fuck. Time skip time! You can't get rid of me that easy. Believe me, I've tried. Abigail and I have been spending a lot of time together since the last scene, and we've gotten to know each other a lot better. At this point in the story, she's also able to talk, which makes things a lot easier. For someone who hasn't spoke to another human being in over 200 years, she's a surprisingly excellent conversationalist. You two are on a date in this scene, right? No! We're just talking, that's all. Just going for a walk and talking. That's perfectly normal. There's a chance for the two of us to enjoy each other's company. Hang on a sec. These 3 new scenes don't have me in them. Shouldn't Abigail be introducing them instead? We actually have never had a chibi sprite made for her, so we can't... Oh! Hey, it's me, Abigail. I'm really spooky and I just love Maddie so much. I'm so glad we're dating now. Just roll the damn scene. Abby takes my hand in hers and then drops it right away as if burned. She gasps, her mouth freezing in perfect O of shock. What is it? What's wrong? Your hand. With everything that's happened, I have expected to be fading away or something, but when I hold up, nothing seems out of the ordinary. I could feel it. Then she darts forward and grabs my hand in both of hers. I can feel your hand, Madison. It's real. Like a jeweler with a diamond, Abby takes my hand and runs her fingers over it, with a characteristic disregard for personal space. Excited? She seems to realize what she's doing and quickly pulls away, breaking the spell. Sheepishly, she kicks at the ground, not meeting my eyes. Oh, I'm sorry. That was incredibly rude of me. For a moment, I lost myself and... It's okay. I don't mind. There's a lot of little things in my daily life that I take for granted. The simple actions of taking someone to the store or sitting next to a stranger on the bus. They're not enjoyable. I'd even say that I dislike them, but for someone who hasn't interacted with another human being, who hasn't even come near a human being in however many years, that's something I can't even imagine. And with that, y'all, I'm going to end it. That was Heart of the Wood. This game, oh my god, it is so long for a demo. But I'm having so much fun playing it. Let me know, guys, your comments. What do you think? What's your favorite characters? Talk to me. I like this game. I like this game so much, and I want to communicate about this game. So talk to your boy. Let me know what you guys think. I'm loving it that she could talk now. So there's like a time skip that's going on. It's keep progressively changing. I don't know exactly how long this demo is. Hell, if it's a full game, I play this shit all the fucking time. I'm just saying. So, thank you guys so much for watching as per usual, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more quality content. Siphon!